Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. We are in season 4, gentlemen. This is it. Season 4, week 1, our first podcast of the year, 11 a.m. We are going to be on every week now. We are excited about that. What's going on, guys? What's happening?
What's going on?
What's up?
Man, ready for another season. I can't wait. We are here. We're starting a new season. Enough said. Getting ready for football more. I can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Even the 49er fan up there. Mike, I'm glad nothing's going on in 49er country right now, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we don't make no headlines, no news. We're all quiet this all season. Nothing's happening.
Really? Nothing? I don't know.
Nothing at all, no drama at all.
that prospect, whatever it was, Trey Lance, I don't know. He's gone.
Yeah, man. All those picks and all that kerfuffle, and now they're like, yeah, we don't need him. It's all right.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Look, I mean, if you think about it, and we'll get to this later, the Eagles did it with Hurts, right? They were on the Wentz train. They still drafted Hurts, and look what happened. So this could be a thing where Purdy turns out to be like Hurts. You never know, but we'll get to that. Who knows, man. But anyway, we got a great show today. We hadn't had guests in a while, so it's really cool. One of the goals this year was to get some guests back in here and really get things rolling. So we got 2 great guests today coming from the All Dressed Up podcast. And if you haven't watched that, it's really an amazing podcast, man. They do some great stuff. We've enjoyed checking it out. We've been guests on their show, and we invited them on here today, and we're going to bring them out in a second. So just a shout out. If you can't see them, they're on every Sunday, and the All Dressed Up, I call it the podcast, they're on at 4:20. That's their new time. It's a little more friendly. No, I'm kidding. It's actually on at it's actually on at 9:00 p.m. We're going to be on there tonight if you haven't seen them. So let's talk about first, let's introduce the guys on the show first. So we'll get to the guest in 1 second here. So, all right, this guy, we'll bring in the first one here. Being an Eagles fan, he's like an elephant and never forgets. And there is only one team he likes better, and that's his Jets, Jets. What's up, Trey?
Yeah, I guess the other green team, huh? Listen,
what's up, Trey?
Hey, I'm here. What's up? Yeah, I mean, I was saying last season on our podcast season, I said, look, guys, the Jets are up and coming. And you guys, okay, you're smoking, you're drunk, or whatever. I said, nah, they're up and coming. This is even before the whole Aaron Rodgers thing and everything. Yeah, man, that's the back. That's my AFC team.
All right. Obviously, the second guy is our mainstay. Being a 49ers fan, he has quite a knack. He might have to suit up, though, because they just can't seem to keep a quarterback. Say hi to Mike, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yeah, hopefully this is a year that they can keep at least one quarterback healthy the whole season. At least 3 quarters of the season. So it's something that's going to go wrong, but we'll see what happens.
All right, cool.
They got more problems right now, and we'll get to that.
Are your wounds healed from what we did to y'all last season? I mean,
there's going to be payback this year. I'm not worried about that. I'm healed. Yeah, the business is thrown away. I'm over it.
I mean, I'm seeing across social media, man, a fight song calling the Eagles losers. It's the San Francisco 49ers version, man. I mean, they fighting in preseason. I mean, I think you guys are pretty bitter.
There could be a good rivalry coming up there. We'll see. The NFC needs it. The AFC's got good teams and got good rivalries. The NFC don't really have any good rivalries right now. So maybe Niners and Eagles will be a thing for a little while.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we have 4 of us as called the crew, and our other guy couldn't make it today. So
we'll get him in.
We'll get him in, but
yeah. Well, cool. Let's bring in our first guest from the ADU podcast. Let's get this thing started here. So this guy, he watches the Commanders all the time come in last. He also watches his crush Fancy on the ADU podcast. Bring in Hef, everybody. What's up, Hef?
What up, Hef?
so near and dear to my heart because I was hoping I got an intro like you guys, and I'm so at home. Thank you. Thank you.
Hef, what's good? Yo, the baby called me the other day, said she was fed up, man. Said, "You're not feeding her enough, dude. What is going on? How's the
She likes to
baby?"
eat. Baby Nova likes to eat, man, and I got to make sure she's fed. And, it's been a blessing, but thanks for asking, man. Happy to be on the Enough Said podcast again. Thank
No
you guys so
doubt,
much.
Hef.
Yeah,
Yeah,
welcome.
man.
Yes, Hef. Welcome.
So what's going on? What's happening, man, on the ADU podcast? What's going on? Before we get into all this football stuff, what's new and good this season on ADU, man?
Man, ADU is growing. We are so thankful to have,
Mhm.
everybody that's been rocking with us for 2 years. We're going to be on episode 87 tonight.
Ooh,
Wow.
It's just
man.
been a blessing, man, because we're all about providing a platform and an opportunity for all creators. I
Mhm.
think that because we've had this experience of being able to meet so many people and collab with so many other shows, here and around the country, you just become a lot more appreciative for everybody else that's doing what you like to do and doing what they like to do. So, we just look forward to continuing to be able to do that. And also, we'll be putting out some more projects this year. So stay tuned.
That's
Nice,
awesome.
man.
That
Yeah, I
sounds
mean,
good. Sounds real good.
That's awesome, man.
I
You
Well,
guys have
enjoy
the
I,
best
I
sports show on
enjoy
the land. So I
I tell
appreciate
you,
this.
I enjoy all dressed up, man. They always
Mhm.
baking something good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
They baking something good all the time.
We try to talk about what's current, and we also try to dip our toes into some of those tougher topics, but make sure that everybody who comes on and talks to us live understands that you're not going to be judged. Everybody has an opinion, and that's the beauty about it. Like, we get into some topics from the NFL to aliens for Dre. I mean, we're all over the place now, so definitely check us out. Like I said, thank you so much for having me, and I know K Dizzle will be coming by soon.
That's cool, man. No, good stuff, man. We love having it. So we're glad to get you guys in. Everything is nothing much is going on in the NFL. Nothing exciting, right? We got
Really?
the season starting now. Hef being a Commanders fan, here's the thing, your heart's been broken, man, but you finally got over that hump. Daniel Snyder is gone. He's gone, man. It's
Oh
been
Can you
tough
yeah.
being a
believe it? Can
Redskins
you
fan.
even believe it? I can't believe that Daniel Snyder's gone, man. But we've got a guy who seems to really love the organization. That's what they try to sell us each and every time we get an owner. They love the Redskins history and they grew up watching us. But I just hope and pray for all of our loyal fans who've been, really riding with the Redskins slash Commanders for all these years. We get some payback, man. Like, we deserve a team that can
Mm.
compete for at least 2 years in a row. My goodness, man,
Yeah, yeah. I
we
mean,
deserve it.
where do you see? I mean, because obviously the Eagles are the favorites, right? And
Tough,
but
tough team to beat.
yeah, you got the Eagles. The Cowboys, man. Dre will talk about the Cowboys. I know he's
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
I'm gonna
see,
yeah,
talk about them.
it's easy side for me to play hater on the Cowboys, but I've heard this song before.
yeah,
We've
yeah.
heard this song before. The Eagles, I'll tell you, I think you guys are primed, and I'm not going to go too far, but I think you guys are primed to definitely go back. I don't see a team in the NFC that can probably stop you with everything that you're bringing back and what you've added to your team. But I'm not a believer in Dak. I'm not trying to pick on Dak,
Mhm.
but I don't believe in Dak Prescott, man.
See
Sorry.
that's why we're on this side of the screen together and you guys on that side of the screen together.
Dak ain't
Because
all that.
I'm telling you, man,
Dak gets whack. Dak
he's
gets whack sometimes, I'll
he
tell you.
reached to me, he reached his plateau. I'll talk about
Mhm.
more later. And I don't think he can I just don't think he can bring that team to where they want to be, a Super Bowl, and also a consistent playoff team. Remember, yeah, they made it last season, but prior to that, man, and all that, they haven't been back since Troy Aikman days. So
Man.
But
Yeah, they haven't
as
been in the
far-
Super Bowl. They've been in the playoffs, I think, the last 2 years.
yeah, I know
And
they have
yeah,
been, but
yeah,
I saw a
but
graphic, guys. I was so interested. It was like the teams with the lowest playoff win percentage over the last 20 years were Dallas, Washington, and Detroit.
Yeah.
And all the playoff percentages were under 300. Detroit hasn't won a playoff game. And these are historic franchises with huge fan bases that really help the NFL roll. So, I think it's better for the league for both teams to play better. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna carry the Commanders this year as like when I play poker. Right. I like to sit back in the weeds and kind of hang out and play my good hands when I can. Not to give my strategy away in poker, right? But I think I'm gonna let them do their thing. I'm not gonna talk too much because I think the Commanders are gonna be one of those teams you just don't want to line up against this year. And we'll leave it there.
Right.
Cool. Well, I want to talk about the Commanders in a sec. Dre, are we ready? Is our next guest in, or is we still waiting on him?
Bring him in.
Let's
bring him in.
Bringing him.
I mean, that's KD, everybody. That's KD from
Where you reporting live from?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. Podcast.
Now let's bring this guy in. I just want to say the rumor has it that you wrote the song to that intro of your podcast. Is this true? I mean,
that is very true. That is
true. Come on, guys, sing it.
Yeah.
Dude, that's some great stuff, man. That probably explains why people leave after the intro and never listen to your podcast.
Wow. I mean, hold on, Sal. These are our guests, man. We want them to come back.
KD knows that I'm down with him, man. KD knows I'm a musician, man. If he listened to my stuff, he'd be busting on me the same way. So. But the one thing I wish KD was here for, man, he missed my intro with Hef.
I did.
Is the bear repeating Hef? What do you think?
Hey, man, go ahead and rock with it, man. I love it. I was hoping I had one. I made it.
Here it is, Hef. I said he watches the Commanders all the time coming last. He also watches his crush Fancy on the ADU podcast. Oh, man.
So, KD, are you ready for... Oh, go ahead. No. I was gonna say, man, because now we got 3 Eagles here because let our audience know that
2.5
Eagles fans.
2.5 Eagles. 2.5.
Well,
yeah. Sal's a half.
Are you excited, KD, for the season?
Am I excited for the season?
Yes. Yeah. Are you excited? Are we repeating?
Are we repeating? Of
yes.
Course.
Look, all right, that's what I want to hear.
I'm changing the setup right now. Okay.
I was going to say, what's going on, man, down there?
I know. I'm doing a lot, but hold on.
I'm getting dizzy over here. I'm going to need a Dramamine in a minute.
Oh my God. Man. No. I'm here.
Hey, don't forget that this stuff does not disappear.
Oh, I know.
I was watching last year's predictions and comments, and boy, it was entertaining.
To say the least, right? To say the least.
All right, let's start now that we got everybody here, as you call it, 3.5 Eagles fans or whatever you want to call
2.5.
it. 2.5. All right. Well, if you count Jermaine, it's 3.5. We'll give him. He's a closet Cowboys fan. We'll deal with that later.
Oh my God.
Nothing worse.
Let's talk about the East. We started talking a little bit. Commanders going to take out the Eagles. Dallas going to take out the Eagles. What do you guys think? KD, have any chance? Giants maybe with that coach?
I come in early. I come in late, and you start the conversation off with slander.
Yeah, man. Come on now.
Mud throwing.
It's all for love, Hef. You know that, man.
It's pretty simple, Sal. Eagles, that's it. I don't say nothing else.
I don't understand. I filled out my prediction form, by the way. I filled that out. So everything is like Eagles.
Okay.
Eagles.
But
sorry, but I don't understand how you even having these conversations, being an Eagles fan, saying that the Commanders have an opportunity to do something and the Giants have an opportunity to do something. I just don't. You are an enigma to me. So I don't.
He's coming out swinging.
I don't get it. I feel like I need to go meditate every time I speak with you about the Eagles.
The way I explained to Jermaine is I'm a realist, okay? I like the Eagles.
No, you're a narcissist. You're either a pessimist or a narcissist.
No, just because I don't think the Eagles may be as good as last year because their schedule's a little tougher. That's all. I didn't say they were going to stink. I didn't say they were going to be horrible. Nothing like that. I don't see them getting 14 wins like they did last year. That's all. I see them getting maybe 11,
13,
maybe 12. So that's all I'm saying.
Hold on a second.
That's all I'm saying.
Did I just hear that correctly? Because the last time we got together and talked on a pre-show convo,
right?
it was like
10 or 11. I did say 10 or 11.
And when you ran through them, Sal, you almost had me really sign up for your prediction. Because I was like, man, if they could win about if they could win about 10 games, but I mean, you guys are definitely primed to go back though. I can't hate. I'm just gonna wait and just see, what teams can kind of rise up to the occasion. Like, I don't know if Minnesota has it. I don't know if the Cowboys have
you hear
it.
that?
But I'm gonna let y'all, continue. But like I said, man, I'm not a Dak believer. I think the Eagles. This is the best chance for you guys to probably go back.
Hef and KD, scared of the Niners?
Not at all.
No.
Stop.
Not a Niners
Oh.
believer. I'm not a believer in the Niners simply because if they get a team that can put up some points, I don't know if Purdy can throw it out with another team. San Fran is a great team when they're playing from the front. Another team with a great defense. They put they don't put the game in Purdy's hands to lose, or win. All he has to do is be a glorified game manager. I like it, but if they do come out with an Eagles team that gets hot, I don't know if he can compete.
Mike, you gonna take that, man? Come on now.
Well, I can't talk too much trash because we didn't get this. When that happened, Purdy got hurt, so we never got to see the show.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
we'll find out this season. And
how did Purdy get hurt? How did he get hurt?
Hold on. Look, y'all know I got stuff over here. I don't want to mess up the whole recording, but I know Mike suffered from
emotional damage.
I just had to put that out there, Mike.
Oh no.
He got normal sack, man. I mean, that's what it was. Just a sack.
He got hit. I mean, it was a fluke. I mean, it's one of them hits.
It's a sack.
What can I say? People get hit. That hit took out his elbow, and that was it.
That was it. That's defensive credit right there.
But I mean, look, where'd you guys end up after that? Same spot we was in, right? Y'all lost.
But y'all, but see, you were so scared. But hold on, I gotta get this out. You were so scared this year, and you took our guy who took out Block Purdy. You took Hargrove. So
well, Riddick took out Purdy, but
Riddick. But I'm just saying
we got to get better. I mean, that's we had Cowboys took Deion Sanders back in the day, so they get over the hump. It happens. The good teams they can afford to get the good players. So hopefully Hargrove is the answer on defense, and that we can get pressure. On a Jalen Hurts or something in the championship game. That might make the difference. It might not. But going back to the Eagles, y'all got to win your division. I mean, it's been since 2004. What? Since 2004, no team is repeat champion for the NFC East. I know KD, you said history is going. You're going to defeat history, but that's a challenge, man. I mean, it hasn't happened. I mean, history has shown that no team is repeated. And it's not saying you got to win a division and not get in the playoffs, because all you got to get in the playoffs and get hot. And then, that happens. I mean, the Lambs, they won three games on the road and got to the Super Bowl. So it's doable, but y'all got to win your division first. And I think Washington's a team that can stand in front of them.
Mike, they just got to hope. Really? They just got to hope that my boy Sam Howell. They got to hope that my boy Sam Howell and K Dizzle, you were seeing the future last year. It's like, I think you were calling me Sam Howell, your boy Sam. He's here now. He has come. He's got his opportunity. If he is a formidable quarterback, I was saying this to myself, preparing myself for the show.
Yeah.
If you take a good defense and a formidable quarterback in this league with a solid run game, you're going to have a very good chance to win. And all I'm saying is, if Sam Howell can pretend to be Purdy for 16 games, I think they're going to be a dangerous team. I can't say the Commanders are definitely going to go, but it's not going to be a team you want to play with, as you guys know, who gave you your first loss last year.
There you go. Okay,
still hanging on that.
Hanging on that. Great. You gotta let that man be great.
Yeah.
One of the things you got to look at is the Commanders are trying to duplicate the San Francisco 49er recipe, but the 49ers got into a position through no fault of their own. So you gotta let me say a mid quarterback with a formidable defense on both ends. I'm not saying Purdy, I think, is a good quarterback in a great system.
Okay.
Good quarterback in a great system.
I can actually go. I agree with that. Yeah,
now you got the enemy that's in Washington, who's putting in a great system with a good quarterback, which is the same thing. The unfortunate part of it, fellas, is the one thing we're not paying attention to is this. Jalen Hurts last year took the season in the NFL by storm, mainly
Right.
because he had a great system. But the difference was he's a great quarterback as well. Nobody was paying attention to that. They say, "Oh, well, he runs a lot," but they didn't pay attention to the dimes he was dropping in every direction, which got them to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Difference between him and San Francisco 49ers is Jalen is a great quarterback. He's an elite quarterback. And what we have in this season is that everybody has seen what each team can do, right?
Mhm.
And if you don't, if you become more than the I won't say one trick, I'll say 2 or 3 trick pony, then everybody already has what you have on stage. They already have, all they have to do is pre-plan for it, and now they know how to attack you better based on what your weaknesses are. The difference between the Philadelphia Eagles right now is people still don't have an answer for him. Not
And
just
not,
with Jalen Hurts, and
but
not
not,
just the
but not
defense.
just even that, Kid Dizzle. You also have a very efficient offense. Like a lot of people think Philly goes out and
Yep,
plays like with this gunslinger style offense, and that's not the case. That's where you fall into a trick bag
yep,
because Philly plays
Mhm.
very smart and you run your offense very smart, and you don't have a superstar on paper running back, but that does not mean you don't run the ball, and you incorporate Jalen Hurts and running the ball very well. One stat that stands out to me when you look at Jalen Hurts compared to every other quarterback, he threw the least amount of interceptions.
That's right.
So when you hold on to that ball and you have 6 interceptions for the entire year, when you got guys like Mahomes at 12,
yep.
that's huge. Like that right there. I
Mhm.
love Jalen Hurts, and I can't hate on the guy because when you don't turn that ball over and you play smart for somehow, some way, this guy's playing like he's been a vet for 10 years.
Yeah, and you got 2 things this year with Jalen that's different, right? He's throwing back shoulder passes, they said in camp, more than he's ever thrown before, which is a whole nother element. And you got a huge element now in Swift coming out of the backfield that he didn't have before. He's able to catch passes and line up outside with the wide receivers. That's a big thing. Mike, I
Look,
don't know how you
man,
stop that.
you're gonna
Well,
you're gonna
I
he's gonna be
can't
saving
believe
his legs. He's gonna be saving his legs with our running back committee. I
Mhm.
mean,
I
Go ahead,
can't
Mike.
believe after one season you calling Jalen Hurts an elite quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback, and he had a really great season. But there's no way I'm going to call him an elite quarterback off
I'm
of
not
just one
putting him
season.
in I'm not putting him in there with
No,
my boy
Mahomes is
Mahomes
elite.
yet.
Yeah,
Let me
Mahomes
say
is
this.
elite. He's
Let me
done
say
it. I gotta see Jalen do it again. And I like Jalen Hurts. Don't get me wrong. He's one guy I root for him. I appreciate. He's a good character person, but I'm not going to call him elite because I've seen Geno Smith going to have an elite year too, and we know where he was at. Jalen Hurts, we used to talk about him on the show before last year, talking about, man, the dude's a 79 Mad rating. He's so. We don't know what he got. He had a good season. Now he
But
got to
that's
show it again.
but that's the
I'm
thing,
not
Mike.
going to say elite. I can't say elite.
Oh, Mike,
Not yet.
I
but
totally
isn't
agree
that?
with you.
Go ahead, Kate, 'cause I was gonna say, wait a minute, Mike. But let's talk about Patrick Mahomes. His first year, he wasn't elite, right?
No.
Second year,
No.
we
Second year, yes.
starting to see something.
Mhm.
I'm seeing
Second
the
year, he
same.
was elite.
I'm
Second
seeing
year
the
as a starter, he
same.
went to Super Bowl.
Oh,
I
those two
mean,
things I just said. I see the same road map
But if
that
he
Jalen
can get,
Hurts is
if he can
doing.
get to a point to where they can unlock him like Mahomes, like y'all are saying, y'all make great points, and I agree with both of you. Patrick Mahomes threw the ball 400 and he had 435 completions. Jalen Hurts
Mhm.
had 306.
Yep.
Mahomes threw the ball 648 times. Jalen Hurts 460. So
Mm-hmm.
all we're doing is we're keeping a well-oiled machine, well-oiled. I don't want to give a whole bunch of corny analogies, but they're not really unlocking Jalen Hurts yet. So if he takes those, that progression, Mike, he might get there in 2 years. I agree with you. He's not there yet. But do you think he could be as efficient throwing the ball 200 more times in a season?
Well, I don't think so, but I want to ask this too because I think this is a comparison, right? We were all excited about Carson Wentz after his first year, right? What's the difference between Carson having one great season? You led the Eagles to what, 13 wins as well? I mean,
Mhm.
that was, and then Jalen Hurts. Could Jalen Hurts do the same thing and fall off like Wentz did? What's the difference?
The difference is
Well,
very plain to see. Carson
Mhm.
Wentz's first season was a Josh Allen replica. If you watch it, he was
Mm.
playing cardiac football all
mm-hmm.
down the field all season long.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout that, even with the great defense there, He had a great team, but his decision making was poor. His timing was off.
Mhm.
So he scrambled and made some amazing plays, and the team around him adjusted to his play style, and they got to where they went ultimately, which was the Super Bowl. And you put Nick Foles in there, which is a mid quarterback, but has better game management, better decision making, and it allowed him to win the actual game against Tom Brady. So those are the major difference between those two. Now, when we talk about Jalen Hurts had a really good first season as a full starter with a not so good NFL team. We can all agree to that. He willed that team to the playoffs. They lost poorly because he wasn't prepared for that stage. And you can see that. Neither was his team at that time prepared for that stage. The second year he came back and he pushed and he became a great quarterback, which turned him into an elite quarterback. The only reason, and we can all agree without argument, because you can pull up the stats, the only reason he did not win the MVP of both the Super Bowl and the regular season is because he missed a few games, for one. And two, he lost the Super Bowl because he outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So for me to sit here and not say this guy is an elite quarterback who outplayed the best quarterback in the league and has been for the past 3 years, for me is absurd.
The only people that feel like he outplayed Patrick Mahomes than anything is an Eagles fan.
No.
Yes, because
go on, Dre.
the
You blame Jalen Hurts for losing the Super Bowl, so he didn't outplay. Go on,
I was going to say, I don't. Well, Mahomes played hurt. Mahomes played hurt in the Super Bowl the whole second half.
But we did mention, I did, and I did say that, Mike, and I'm like, turnovers kill, and that hurt, and I felt that. To me, I felt that that he lost the game
because it was again a position you guys were put in really quick, Dre, because you're playing against Mahomes. You feel like you got to run your Corvette to their speed of their Corvette, and you don't have to. And I think that's what happened with you guys.
Both teams, they didn't make adjustments. We can talk about it till blue in the face. The defense didn't make adjustments.
That's right.
The offense didn't make adjustments. The game plan in itself, because after the first half, the second half, you went in and you saw a young coaching staff not know how to make the necessary adjustments to win against people who are extremely knowledgeable and possibly Hall of Fame coaching on the other end. Yes, Patrick Mahomes played hurt, but it was a result of the defense hurting that man and putting him in that position. And he willed himself in there to win the game. It could be the same. You could say the same thing about San Francisco, right? But San Francisco, the difference between them was they didn't have a backup plan, or they didn't have anybody there to really run the offense. They put both quarterbacks. Yeah, they put both backup quarterbacks out.
Yeah.
So,
hey, can I throw something out there real quick before you guys keep going? Throw this out there real quick. Because K Dizzle talk this Eagle shit. He's the Eagles fan. He's the Eagles fan that pisses me off the most. Him and Jermaine. But I just want to throw this out there because sometimes I get confused. In the 2019 regular season, Carson Wentz lit it up.
Absolutely.
Carson Wentz was 9th in passing. And Carson Wentz threw the ball as much as Mahomes throws the ball now. So you guys really had confidence in this guy. I don't know what happened to him. He had
injury. That's what happened. Injury
and it just destroyed his
career.
Mentally,
injury and mentally.
That year he had 8 more yards. He had 4,039 yards. Mahomes had 4,031 yards. He had a rating of 93.1. And it just goes to show, like, the quarterbacks who also had good years that year, Jameis Winston.
Jameis. That's right. He did. He did.
If it wasn't for the 30 interceptions.
Listen, that dude.
That's elite.
5,000. He was like almost to 5,000 yards, and like fantasy football, man. He was a killer. I mean,
he's the most bipolar quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
He is a nut, man.
Bipolar quarterback I've ever seen in my life. That man, he looked like he'll eat the head off a chicken right before a live game, go in and throw 3,000 yards. Then the next game, he'll show up with Sage singing "Nam Yo Hoden Kekyo," and come out there and give away interceptions. It's
Check
just
this out. This was also Derek Year's breakout year for the Raiders when he got drafted in Oakland. So
Derek Carr, yeah.
what do you think? Do you think he's going to be able to pull the Saints back out of the cellar since Drew Brees has left them
Absolutely.
to get in your way? Can he get in the Eagles' way?
That's all they ever needed. Can they get in the way? Absolutely not. I don't think
They can't get in the way. No,
absolutely not.
Not the Saints.
They'll give like they'll give the Lions a run for their money. They'll give everybody in their division a run for their money. They'll even give Dallas a run for their money because Dallas, I think, doesn't have an identity. I think they're lost right now. I think they're really lost. They've got some issues over there. You bring Trey Lance, and I know I'm skipping over, but I think the Trey Lance move was the smartest move that team's organization has ever done, hands down. Now, the only question I have is whether they have the people in-house to coach and train that man up to be great.
No.
Cowboys?
Yep.
Well, they say McCarthy is a quarterback guy, so maybe he'll be the guy. I mean, he had Brett Favre and he had Aaron Rodgers, and he developed them. So maybe he can help Trey Lance. I'm not sure who his quarterback's coach is, but he got to get reps, man. He's got to touch the ball. He's got to play. And I don't know if he's going to get a chance to play at all this season.
Yeah, he's not going to get a chance to play at all.
Oh, he will. He will.
It just depends on how bad Dak stink up the road.
Listen,
Then they got Cooper Rush. Yeah, the Dallas people believe in Cooper Rush more than Dak sometimes. So,
listen, Dak got hurt. You know that. He can get hurt. Anybody can get hurt. We know that. But Dak, Trey Lance might play this season.
Look, Dallas fans are exactly like Commanders fans. If they got somebody back there that they almost can smell a win, they're gonna root for him. So, like Cooper Rush to me is like Sam Howell. I'll be honest with you. Cooper Rush is like Sam Howell.
He's hating on Howell, man.
But
I'm not paying him any attention.
I know you're not.
It's the part of the show where I tune out and then I pretend like I was listening.
But Derek Carr, I think the Saints are gonna make a lot of noise. They weren't a terrible team last year. How many wins did they have last year? Have 8 or 9?
Yeah, let me see. I think they had about 8.
I think they
had a lot of injuries last year.
They had a lot of injuries too. But
their defense was good.
The
even
defense
with the
was
injuries.
always good. You got Mike Thomas. If he can show anything close to what he was, then he's a killer. And then they got the rookie that just had Chris Olave from the year before that played excellent last year. So I mean, they got a lot of tools out there that they can really put on put a show with. So
They got a pretty weak division too. I mean, maybe the Falcons only team I think they can probably challenge them.
Absolutely.
Carolina is a ways back.
Wide open.
Tampa Bay is ways back.
I'd be surprised.
Atlanta's got that rookie. I think Bijan Robinson is going to be. He's going to be tough to deal with, and he might single-handedly give them some wins.
Saints only had 7 wins last year.
6 wins.
Yeah, the Panthers and the Saints and the Falcons all had 7 wins. The Buccaneers had 8, and they bring in Baker Mayfield with the solidified starting position. So I have no faith in Baker Mayfield at all. I think the Buccaneers will take a step back. I agree with K Dizzle. I think the Saints might squeeze 10 wins with the boy Derek Carr and win that division.
But the Panthers, though, they did a real good offseason.
They did.
They had a lights out defense.
Yeah, lights out defense. I'm going to say Carolina's going to be lead that division. I really do.
I'm with Mike. To see a quarterback come in and outdo a Derek Carr with all those weapons, man. The Saints have Kamara coming off suspension. They have Jamal Williams that they picked up from Detroit. So they've got some guys that can get the ball out the backfield with Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Thomas.
Let's stay on this topic, man, because like going through each stay on the NFC. Like, yeah, we said NFC West is going to be the 49ers on top, but they're just as weak too. Anybody below that? The Rams stink, Cardinals stink, Sea Chickens. I mean,
why do I think the Sea Chickens are going to drop off this year?
Chickens, not tripping. I think they're going to be good. They got good coaching. They always find a way. And I think the Rams might actually surprise some people.
Really, the Rams?
Yeah,
really.
Stafford's going to come back. Stafford's he's old man. I know he turns the ball over a bit, but I can't. They got good coaching, man. I'm sorry, McVay, McGenius. He is a good coach. I've seen it. I wouldn't be surprised if they make some noise. Not
think
go
they
all the
should.
way, but they'll be tough. You know,
Hey,
the
Mike,
Cardinals would be on
I
the
think
team
they
from
should
them.
get
They
So.
need
Taylor, Mike.
Jonathan Taylor. They
Yeah.
need Jonathan Taylor
Yeah.
because the old man
Ooh,
swinging the
Jonathan,
rock
oh.
needs some help on the ground. They need
That,
Jonathan
Yeah.
Taylor.
that's true.
They need him.
I don't know
All
if
right,
they
let's-
can afford it.
The problem is they don't have the ability to mortgage any more than what they've already mortgaged.
Right.
Because in
Yeah.
the next 2 to 3 years, it's going to be a completely different team. You got Donald's probably going to be retiring. You got
Right.
everybody else who was of anything either retiring or leaving that organization. I
Nick
can't.
Genius retiring, Sal.
I can't see Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
I can't see Cooper Cup. Man.
Cooper Cup.
I can't see
Cooper Cup.
man.
Well,
Cooper Cup is
hey.
going to require some money, some big
Yeah.
money that they're not going to have. They're not going to have in the coffers to do so because they got to start from scratch in
Who?
every position.
Yeah. Who's going to be the most improved team? Like for me, we're talking about this and teams that are getting better. I see two teams, and they're both in the same division. I think Detroit and the Bears. The Bears really made some moves.
I say Detroit. I
think
agree with
the
that.
Bears.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Sal.
And I'm glad you moved
Mm-hmm.
to that NFC North because now Aaron is gone.
Mhm.
See how Green Bay does. Detroit's been coming up. I mean, over all through the offseason, they're talking about the coach. Like he's gonna be the coach of the year. I'm
Maybe.
reading all the clips, man. They talking about
Mhm.
he's gonna be the coach of the year.
I agree with Sal. I think if
Yeah.
the Bears can stay healthy, I think Justin Fields' stock is super high, and they're gonna probably take their 3 wins from last year and probably get up to about 9. I think that's
Agree.
And remember,
Mhm.
Chicago went real like they went in the draft. They went
Yeah.
straight out for the defense.
Mhm.
They got top defensive players in the draft.
Didn't they
and
get
like,
a lineman for Justin Fields, or was I
They
just
got
joking?
They got
they got a lineman for him in the first
got-
round. I think.
the lineman in the
big
first
kids.
round too.
Mhm.
So hopefully, Mike, because he said Justin Fields like he's running for his life.
That-
He's always
Yeah.
playing like he's
Oh, yeah.
hurt.
Yeah, I think they'll be better.
And-
I think the sleeper.
Yeah.
I think the sleeper team. You're gonna be surprised. I think it's gonna be Green Bay.
Oh,
Really?
Wow.
I
That's
think
interesting.
Jordan
Wow.
Love.
That's-
Jordan
agree
Love
with you,
sitting
Mike.
all those years.
I can agree with you, Mike.
But
Yeah.
hold on, is that the same thing you're saying when Lance was sitting all those years? I mean, he
There's a difference between Lance. Lance didn't learn.
Mike don't mess with Lance at all.
No,
I've been asking him for the longest time. What about Trey Lance? What about that? Where's he? Oh, he's gonna be okay. Fuck Trey Lance. You don't care about it.
Yeah. I mean, I want Trey Lance to do well.
yeah, the
But no, I think
Bears in
Jordan
Detroit.
Love-
We'll see.
I think Jordan Love is, I think him sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, it's kind of like old school. We used to draft a quarterback and they would sit behind a veteran for a couple of years before he finally got thrown out there. And I think that did Jordan Love a lot of good.
Mhm.
I mean, what I see in the preseason, he looks like he understands the offense, like he is ready. And I think that's going to be surprising. I don't think they're going to fall off as far as people think.
But he's gonna be in a division with Justin Fields, who's got
Yep.
a ton of athleticism.
Yep.
He's gonna
Yep.
be in a division with
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, who
Cousins.
doesn't like to lose.
Cousins.
You like that? And he's going to be right there with Jared Goff. I think the Packers are going to go downtown and end up with about 6 wins. And I think it's going to be a rough one
Yeah.
out there in shitty ass Lambeau.
Some rotten cheese, huh?
Detroit. There's a lot of people that love Detroit, and they, I think, might be that team that still stays in the middle. Like every time you feel like they've turned the corner, they find a way to stay around the corner. It's just
Mhm.
That's
I don't trust
them
them.
too much.
Goff ain't got that chip on his shoulder, man. Jared Goff,
Yeah, I
like
think-
getting traded like that.
Yeah, Detroit's dangerous. I think they like you said, they play with a chip on their shoulder and they're ready to win. I think they are turning the corner as far as the franchise as a whole with the way that the way that's being ran now. I think is it Dan Campbell that's out there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
Dan Campbell
doing the right
yeah.
thing, but
turn the franchise around. They may make the playoffs this year. They may make the playoffs and they're gonna surprise some people. Now, Green Bay, I'm with you. Green Bay is gonna be a sleeper team because they still got a lot of talent over there. But I don't know if it's gonna pull them that far. Now, let me do this right now before we go any further. Okay.
Mhm.
I need to address the elephant in the room
Uh-oh.
with this Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts comparisons.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I know you've seen them.
yes, I
Okay.
don't understand this. Yeah.
Look, you can pull stats out of your ass, and they will all compel your argument across the board, right?
Mhm.
I don't care. He is not Jalen Hurts.
Oh, absolutely.
Minus the team.
Huh.
Okay. The kid is talented, but he
They
ain't
should make a
there
new
yet,
roller
bro.
coaster at Disney World and
He ain't
call it
there.
the Justin Fields experience and let you wear his helmet, feel the vision during the game. This probably like a whole bunch of
Oh,
craziness, man.
You
He
remember
running
that?
around
There
for
was
his
a
life.
football game where you could, I think it was NFL 2K, you could see in the helmet, you could play in the
Yep.
helmet. That
Right.
was Justin Fields right there.
Yep.
He was all over the place trying to figure out life.
When you see him survive at the end of the game and you see him standing there at the press conference, it's like he wins my heart every time. I'm like, man, you a tough guy. And he's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like he always got broken ribs or something.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that look on his face.
man.
As soon as he hiked the ball,
Yeah.
his O-line is tying his shoes or something. I don't
Yeah. That's the truth.
Look,
Yeah,
let's
it
move
was
to the
a-
AFC. Let's move to the AFC.
right.
I was
'cause we-
going to. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's good. Dre. I was going to talk about and just ask you, Dre and K Dizzle, about our boy down in Jacksonville in the AFC. I think
Oof.
Dougie P, you don't want to mess with him, man. He
Oof.
knows
Dougie
what he's
P is
doing.
not going to get the credit he deserves for this Trevor Lawrence development because nobody likes to focus on coaches. They like to think the players just do it by themselves. But Doug Peterson has Lawrence playing phenomenal football. The last quarter of last year, Lawrence went out of his mind. I think he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year, from start to finish. Really do. I think he's going to be.
Top 10.
I think he's going to be a guy who can compete, not be on that level, but can compete and play offensively like a Mahomes.
Is he going to be elite?
Well, you know, I
I
can't
don't
say
know,
elite
man.
that
You can only
fast.
get that to like 3 or 4
But he's got
guys.
so
maybe,
many
maybe
weapons,
5.
man. Like,
Mhm.
don't be surprised if you don't see Lawrence put up, you know, a good 4,000 yards, you know, 25 touchdowns. Like, you know, I think he's on that Herbert level 100%.
But you know, a lot of the Jacksonville games last year were just pulled out the last minute,
Yeah.
especially against that one against the Chargers. Remember, the Chargers was blowing them
Because he still turned the ball over. They
That's,
still turn the ball over.
so you saying
Right.
they like the Vikings out here? They doing the Vikings move last year?
It might be.
Yeah, the Vikings were. Yeah, last year they were lucky in so many games.
The Vikings were ghosts. We know
They stole away from the Commanders, so I don't feel too sorry.
that. Trash.
Trash all year long.
Trash. But
Trash.
But you
Yeah, I
talking
think-
about that
Right.
division, man. I mean, Tennessee Titans, the Colts. The Colts look like
Forget
I don't know. They
Colts,
lost Jonathan
man.
Taylor. Oh, no, we're not losing him yet, but he wants to be traded. Houston is actually an upcoming team. You want to talk about?
I
Talking
agree.
about that. Houston, I can see Houston moving up
I
a
agree
lot
with you.
from last year. I don't know about winning the division, but they'll definitely be in the running. I think so.
I think it'd be better, but I think the quarterback's going to hold him back this year. I just think he's not. He's not bad, but I just think that Stroud is just not. I think he's going to go growing pains. It's just they're going to lose games, you know, just because the offense is still not there yet.
Mike, are you coming on all dressed up tonight?
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna save my energy for then. You've been out here just coming out, just blazing the day. Can I tell you guys what I think real quick?
Go ahead, man. You the guest.
I've been thinking about this, but I've been afraid of how I'm gonna say it and where I'm gonna say it. So I'm gonna say it here. So if I'm wrong, I
don't know.
Uh-oh.
I
Hit the
think-
record button.
I think. All right, I'm gonna be on my Dre Jets kick. I think the Dolphins got something up their sleeve this year.
Oh.
And I'm not
Hold
calling
up.
them elite.
Wait.
Be quiet. Be quiet. I'm not calling them elite. All I'm saying is that I'm looking at
Ooh.
the division. I'm looking at Josh Allen specifically. Because if I don't believe in the Jets, get them out of here. The Jets are a distraction.
Really?
But I
Oh,
think
man.
Tua showed me something in this press conference, right? Y'all know I be watching my media on the side when people get to talking for their sound bites. And it's something about a person's like nerve or character where you can just see they get agitated. And Tua let Ryan Clark really get under his skin. And Ryan Clark's, you know, all pro safety, you know, one of the big media personalities out there right now. And Tua was like, man, you got to go easy on me, bro. Like, I'm not here to be picked on. I'm not here for you guys to be coming at me like I'm soft and this and that. And I know it's just talk, but that was a good sign for me, for him. Because if he plays anywhere near elite, this team is a Super Bowl contender.
They got the wide receivers. I will say that. Waddle. I mean,
I'm sorry. You know, we talked about this. I fear for the kid. I just he's gonna get hit. He's gonna get hit. It's inevitable. Quarterbacks get hit, and he's he's had too many concussions, and I just
He needs an
think,
airbag. That's what he needs. He needs an
yeah,
airbag helmet.
he need
Y'all
that.
are
Yeah,
hard on my boy, man.
it's just man. You talk to the GMs, you talk to NFL people, and they'll tell you, man, you quarterbacks, you gotta be bulky, man. You gotta have something. You gotta be able to take a hit, and I just don't think physically he can take those kind of hits that he's been taking, and he's going to get concussed, and then people going to flip out. The media's going to flip out. It's going to be on the national news. NFL players concussed again, and CTE and all this stuff's going to come out. I just think, yeah, he's not the guy. I'm sorry.
You just don't want to see him throwing up gang signs on his back. That's the worst part.
Listen,
I didn't go there. I was, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, no.
To me, the AFC East would be the most interesting division. Because we got, Buffalo with their running the horse, and then all of a sudden the horse just dies out before it crossed the line. We know that. We've seen it.
It's a huge question mark.
Before I said this in the beginning, before Aaron Rodgers came, I think the Jets can do something.
Yeah, the Jets are going to be scary.
And the Patriots just cruising as Belichick is getting that team, going. They just cruising. But
and Mac Jones is just not I don't think he's the answer there.
Nah, he's not.
Right.
Nah.
The Patriots got a new center. He hasn't been known for his blocking expertise. He used to play running back for the Cowboys. He's Ezekiel. He'll be over there.
You mean the new center, right? Yeah, the new center.
Yeah. So he did a great job on that play.
Hold on. We talking about the Pats. Let me play that theme music. Hold on.
Oh, we'll play that theme music.
Yeah.
All right, let's move to the AFC North, guys. Now,
my favorite division,
Bengals.
Don't tell Sierra that.
Is the Bengals gonna go? Are they going all the way?
Lights out.
No.
Okay, we got no and lights out.
Yes.
Ravens and Steelers. It's going back to one of them. We're gonna run that division.
And that's the thing between you and me, Mike. What is the fascination with the Ravens? I mean, Jackson. I mean, he's great, but I mean, not great. I was gonna say the dude can run. He's like the new improved version. I'm gonna go all the way back from Michael Vick. But again, the dude can't throw. He can't throw.
Well, you're gonna find out he can throw because he finally got some weapons to throw too. So I think he's gonna be much better. I think they also got a better offensive coordinator now who will make sure that he got people open.
He got paid too this year.
And he got paid.
He got paid.
And, that team's got a history of just having good coaching, good defense, good everything. So I see them getting back. And in Pittsburgh, I can't count out Mike Tomlin. No, that's going to be a tough division. It's tough for the Browns, but those three teams, they're going to be fighting each other. And I think Pittsburgh will come out on top, but the Bengals will be in the mix. Not going to stink. I just don't think they're going to run away with it.
I'm going to tell you, Mike, I've worked in the Baltimore area for like 20 years. And the worst, clip me for this one. I've hated Cowboy fans all my life. I came out the womb just hating Cowboy fans. I don't like you. But Ravens fans are the worst. Let me tell you guys why. You'll be surprised how bad they are. When the Ravens lose, I'm talking about crickets, man. Like, I'm in the auto industry, so I'll be in a dealership heading up to that game when the Steelers are about to play them. You see all the jackets, right? Everybody's wearing purple. It's Purple Friday. Bands following everybody around Baltimore. I mean, the city's jumping. They're going crazy. They're winning the Super Bowl. Then here comes Monday morning. It's tumbleweeds. At least with the Commanders and the Redskins, we talking all the way through our ass whooping. And these guys are front runners, bro. And I'm gonna shut up. I had gotten some messages last week talking about some preseason win streak, and I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Yeah, man, I agree with you on that, Hef. Because
hey, Dre, but guess what they did to me, Dre? I'm googling it because I'm like, what are they talking about? I haven't been paying attention, and nor am I hating on the Ravens. I like you guys, but I'm googling it. They have a preseason win streak.
Yeah, that man some ammo right there.
Right.
So they're messaging me through the Commanders Ravens game, and they're like, here comes Commanders, Commandeers suck, and I'm like, gosh. Like it's a preseason game. Then all of a sudden it's like win streak, and I'm like, okay, preseason champs, great. And then I'm watching and I'm doing what I'm telling you guys I'm gonna do. I start sitting back in the weeds and I'm seeing Rom and Brissett just throwing strikes down the field, and the little Commanders are coming back against the Ravens, and they're going to end their streak. So when they did end their streak, Sal, I posted a message just laughing, like, "Hey, I guess the streak's over," and I got tore apart. People were like, "Oh, this is your Super Bowl." Hey, Mike, Drake, this is your Commander's Super Bowl. I said, "Guys, I was
Wow.
minding my business." I just had to share that, Ravens fans. You suck.
This is the same thing he
You
did
suck.
when they beat the Eagles last year. Same thing he did. It was their Super Bowl. It was their Super Bowl. All that good stuff. Preseason don't count.
No.
Like I said, they've been what preseason champs for reigning 20 years or something. I don't know.
Man,
Don't nobody
But
care
now,
about
but
that.
if Mike is right, I want to go out on a limb and crown Lamar Jackson for like
Mhm.
MVP. I want to just predict some type of crazy MVP season for him, because if he can throw the ball with those weapons that he has, I mean, that team's another one. I think he's the only person standing in their way of getting to the Super Bowl.
well, that's
This
gonna be the true test this season. So
this
Their defense
this
isn't as
division,
good.
this division, Mark, Colby for this too, will
mhm.
be the most competitive division
It
in
might
the
be.
NFL.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that,
They're going to
KD.
beat
In
each
the
other up.
NFL,
Yeah.
it's going to be just like the NFC East was, where you might have a strong possibility if all of them come out swinging, then
Mhm.
all three of them can make it into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Three
Yeah.
of them can make it into the playoffs.
Don't sleep on Pittsburgh,
Don't
man.
sleep on
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Nah,
Pickett.
yeah.
Pickens and Perkins, in that Pickens and Perkins out there,
Pickett.
or
Pickens,
whatever.
Pickens.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson is going to come back lights out. Okay,
Mhm.
we say, oh,
That's
we don't have
that's
to
my
worry.
fantasy quarterback.
He'll come
Ain't
back
that-
lights out. Then you got the Bengals, who are going to be the Bengals. And you got the Ravens, who are going to be the Ravens. We want to see what this new look Ravens is going to look like. That's why everybody's excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
But we need to see it. We have to see it before we can believe into it. Yeah, Zay Flowers. Yeah, OBJ. Yeah, they got a lot of pieces. But what does it look like on the field? What is the chemistry? What's the camaraderie? How is it going to work when it doesn't work?
Mhm.
Right? How's
Right.
it going to work when it doesn't work? We don't know any of that yet. So let's see what it is.
New
We know
coordinator.
New coordinator.
Yeah.
They, they were in the playoffs last year. Whoop de freaking do. But
Mhm.
Jackson was out half the year,
Yeah.
give or take. That doesn't take away that the team's great, but it does take away the fact that we got a whole new plan in place. We got a whole new process pushing forward, and it's like, well, can they repeat the same success they had last year and build on top of that? In that division, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be really, really tough.
Yeah, I don't think they have the defense for it quite yet, unless Ray Lewis has a second coming.
No, I don't think they have a
Jesus.
Look, they got Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
The second coming, but they still got. I'm still not sold on their DBs. Okay,
Marlon Humphrey still hurt.
Marlon Humphrey's still hurt.
Mhm.
So I mean, they got a lot of holes. They got a lot of holes that people can expose, and so you can't put. He's not a cardiac kid where Lamar Jackson's going to come in and take over a game.
Yeah,
he's going to come in and find some angles, but he's not going to come in and take over a game.
Yeah.
The problem with Lamar Jackson, he's big, he's physical, and he can run the ball, right?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. But
the problem was he didn't have anybody to throw to. Now he's got people to throw to. Now what?
Well, the other problem is
Yeah,
you got great defenses in a real physical division.
yeah,
Those,
real physical.
Those teams play tough every game. It's just like you said, they're like the NFC East.
Mhm.
It's a real division that if you follow it, you understand.
Yep.
You know, every game when these divisional matchups come about, it doesn't matter what your record is, somebody's getting punched in the mouth, and they're gonna hit Lamar Jackson, whoever is playing against them, just like they're on his level.
Even when Cleveland was terrible.
Playing with them.
Even when Cleveland was terrible, they were winning games in their division.
Yep.
Right? They were
Yeah.
killing people in the division. They would have 2 wins or 1 win. It'd be somebody in the division.
And Cleveland always sitting there smacking them. I mean, they always are.
Yeah.
Now, one last one we didn't talk about is the AFC West. And Mike, I'm gonna be funny with this one. So
I know where he's going.
Geno Smith
Oh,
is
it's not
not
Rutgers.
That's
the
AFC
Denver-
West. You talking about AFC West?
Excuse me, AFC West. AFC
Okay,
West.
the other
Okay.
Geno-
Denver Broncos, that is not
That's hard.
that's not
That's hard.
That's not much closer, right?
I was about to
That's
say,
somebody else.
that's somebody else. Geno Smith is not in Seattle. I mean, what's the name? Never left Seattle. So
Russell
Yeah, it's
Wilson.
hard.
Russell
Yeah.
Wilson. It's like
I
a
think-
body
I
snatcher.
think the
But-
version of Russell Wilson we got is going to be the same version we saw last year. I think it's
So
done
was
for
he
him.
Pete Carroll? Was Pete Carroll the real reason behind his success?
I think so. Hef. He knew something that disguised it. You know,
Different offensive scheme.
yeah,
That's
something,
No,
man.
I think
Because
Russell. I mean, I think it was legitimate. I mean, I think in Seattle, it wasn't all Pete Carroll. I think Russell Wilson made plays, but I think just as time went on, he just not play as well. So
Yeah.
they noticed it and said, "All right, you can go." And now in Denver, they can't recreate that magic at all. I mean,
So it's a Donovan McNabb situation.
Well, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson.
I agree. I think it's a good point. I think
It's a
KD, I
Donovan
think so.
McNabb situation.
Russell Wilson's the statue for the quarterback who looks painful at the end of every game. They get the Russell Wilson statue.
I think Russell Wilson. How old is Russell Wilson? He's in his
It's gotta
early
be
30s, right?
Oh,
got
yeah.
30s,
Mid 30s for 30.
mid 30s. Seriously,
30s.
yeah.
So I think he still has some in the tank. I think Sean Payton is walking into a good situation. I think their defense is excellent. I think they had a really good defense last year. But everybody keeps getting hurt in camp.
Who's he got to throw the ball to, man? Let's be honest here. Who's he throwing the ball to?
Who's not hurt? He's got Jerry Jeudy out there. He's got is it Paxton? No, Paxton Lynch is the old quarterback. But
You got Cortland Sutton. You got Cortland Sutton. You got
Cortland
Tim
Sutton.
Patrick. Tim
Yeah,
Patrick.
something.
Tim Patrick got hurt.
That tells us
second year
something
in a
we
row.
don't know. If you don't know who the receivers are, that tells you something.
Yeah, who?
He's got one.
WR who? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But look at Los Angeles, Sal. That's your backup team. You talking about Jets? You talking
It's
about
Chargers.
Chargers.
Get hurt every year.
I'm more excited about Mike's Jimmy
rotate
G
on
out
being
there in
hurt.
Vegas. I'm more excited about Mike's Jimmy G if he's going to do a pirouette out there in Vegas and recreate himself, or what's he going to do out there, Mike?
I think he's going to do well with Devontae Adams. I think he's doing very well with him.
I think it's that's
over
a
team.
position
The team they're
too.
going to lose, but I think he'll do well.
Team gonna lose.
Now my Chargers.
Out there, running back.
Yeah, Chargers. I think again, it's going to rely on their defense. There's something wrong when you give up that many points and lose in that way at the end of the
Minnesota
year,
Vikings.
man.
Man, that game it was
Yeah.
against the Colts, right? Who was it? Who was it?
I feel
It was
like the Chargers kind of remind me of the Lions. It's that team
No,
you
I'm
keep
thinking
talking
of
about every season.
Raiders.
Yep.
Like this is going to be the team. This is going to be the team. They're going to turn that corner, and then somehow they still find a way to not meet the level of achievement that you expect out of them. Chargers the same way. They keep calling what's the name, the quarterback. His name escapes right now, but they keep Herbert. They keep saying he's a
Justin
quarterback, and he got paid like an elite quarterback. But I don't think he's an elite
Let's talk about
quarterback.
that.
I haven't seen.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. The guy has not been in the playoffs yet. Has he been in the playoffs?
Last year they were in the playoffs and they lost.
last year.
Oh, I'm sorry, in the wild card. I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
Wild card.
They lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
got
lost.
at the end of the game.
And that shouldn't happen for an elite quarterback.
From
You
an
know,
elite
not lose a
quarterback?
7-point lead. Yeah.
And then they're gonna pay the man more than anybody in the game.
How many coaches have we had so
Okay, what's
far?
That's all, my guy.
Oh
How many,
man,
how many coaches has he had so far?
He's like had 4 coaches.
Yeah, it's
He's
ridiculous.
been elite.
He's
had
entering.
one coach every year.
He's entering his 4th season,
He's had 4 different heads. He had 4 different coordinators.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and here's another thing that's interesting. He dropped big time. Like he went from like 38 touchdowns down to 25.
Mm-hmm.
So there could have been some scheme changes. I
Scheme
know
changes. Eckler.
they
because-
love Eckler. I love
Eckler.
Eckler.
Yeah.
Echoes the real deal.
Keenan Allen.
Because they
Well,
have the
that's
same
good to
issue.
know,
They
man.
have the same issue a lot of good
Keenan
teams
Allen can
have.
stay healthy.
They have the same issues a lot of teams have. The other problem is the wide receivers. I think they flip a coin and see who's going to be hurt that week. Versus,
Yeah.
Mike Williams and my other
Yeah,
guy,
Mike
who's gonna be a
Williams.
Hall of Famer.
Kenny Allen.
Keenan Allen. So they always have been bitten with the bug with an issue where one of their major pieces goes down, but they fall apart. They don't have depth at all of their positions. And the second part is, again, offensive line. Offensive lines, giving time and coverage and making things happen down the field. So they are a good team. They've always been a good team ever since Drew Brees left them and Phillip Rivers left them. They've always been like, oh, they might be pretty good, but they can never get over the hump. They can never move on to the next step because
Right.
one, it's depth, right? And 2, it's experience at that next step. Like
And
Phillip Rivers,
3, it's the AFC.
yeah, Phillip Rivers,
Mhm.
yeah. If you don't have it, that's a tough division for you to even get anywhere close to sniff any type of success in the,
Mm-hmm.
deep into the playoffs.
Yep.
Because the AFC, like you said, you got to come with all cylinders firing whenever you play anybody that's elite in that game. But I do think they're in a very competitive division too. I think it's still up for grabs outside of the Chiefs. We got to see what the Chiefs really do this year. We got to see again what they really do this year. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Real quick, and then we'll start wrapping it up. Elite quarterbacks. We talked a lot about it today, right? So real quick, we'll just go around. Who are the elite quarterbacks in the league?
well, how many are we putting in elite status? You can't give everybody, so you got to put like let's
Right.
say I don't want to. I think 10 is too much.
I agree.
Really?
You know,
Yeah.
you-
5.
Yeah.
5 in an honorable mention
Yeah,
at that point. Yeah. So
yeah. So who you got, Mike? Who's the top in
Oh,
your
man.
who's the top 5
you better
elite?
not say Brock Purdy. Goddamn.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna say by Purdy. I haven't seen enough. Burrow, Mahomes, man. See, now I want to go back on my words because
Oh.
Say it. Say it with your chest.
because
Say it.
I mean, based on what I saw last year, I have to put Hurts in there.
Oh.
That's right.
I can't believe he just doubled back.
Who did he just say?
I mean,
Hurts.
I
He said
I
Hurts.
can't think of who else to put in. I mean, I don't really think Allen is particularly elite. I feel like they
Wow.
should go further with
Damn.
him. I don't know. I mean, I'd say he's a top 5 quarterback, but I don't know. I feel like if you really were to say elite, I would say it's really just Mahomes and Burrow, and then you got top 5 would be Hurts, and then Allen, and maybe Rodgers still, but I think it's really Mahomes is just that much better than everybody else personally, but I think he's like truly elite.
All right.
What you got, Hef?
So I'm with you guys all the way there. I'm gonna still leave Aaron Rodgers in my elite quarterback list. Because in the regular season, there's no reason why I can't hate on that guy. If it's a playoff game, screw him. I'm not betting with him.
Yeah.
But regular season, I'm gonna make him my 5th quarterback to start the elite. I'll bump Herbert from any of that talk. Josh Allen barely stays in my top 5 at 4 because he's a turnover machine. He's got a lot to prove to me. I can't take turnovers, man. I don't care how good of a quarterback you are. If you're throwing interceptions and fumbling, get off my team.
Yep.
Joe Burrow, stud. And I'm still putting Jalen Hurts and Patty Mahomes at 1 and 2. Jalen Hurts has got me won over. I love the kid. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. I don't want to see him get even better. But if he does, great for him. But if he does, it's going to be tough, man. Because my Commanders had Sam Howell, bro.
The Sam Howell
comes out.
Talk about Sam Howell.
I hate to say it, Mike, but I'm giving my 1 and 2 to Patty Mahomes and Jalen Hurts going into this year. Herbert's got some proving to do, and so does Josh Allen. My honorable mention on the outside looking in is very murky because again, Dak's not there. I'm gonna see what Lamar Jackson does. I'm gonna see what Lamar Jackson does.
I thought you was gonna say Trevor Lance.
Lawrence.
Yeah.
I still got Lamar over Trevor.
Okay. Well, how about you, KD?
You got KD.
Holmes, Hurts, Rodgers.
Wow. Okay.
Burrow.
Allen.
Okay.
Allen.
I haven't heard Dak yet. This is not a Cowboy-friendly podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think Cowboys fans will say that.
Dak is not an elite quarterback.
Do you have to be a fan to pick him in your top 5?
Absolutely not. But you got it. We're talking about elite quarterbacks, sir. And he's not past. He ain't close to Herbert. He ain't close to Lawrence.
We going in on Dak tonight. I hope y'all know we going in on Dak tonight.
We're going in on Dak.
I'll be there. I'll be there. Hef.
I'll
be there. Hef.
He ain't close to Carr. So
man.
Even at least Derek Carr gave the Raiders like hope. You know,
Okay.
like hope for a chance.
Yeah.
Like you never thought they were out of the game, and Derek Carr never did anything ridiculous to lose the game, or made like super bad decisions to lose the game. In the Raiders history, if you look, they got beat on defense, right? They usually got beat on defense. It was very rarely a situation where they couldn't move the ball downfield. If they did, they just couldn't finish.
Right.
In Dak Prescott's situation, he was turning the ball over because of making poor decisions.
Yep. Yep.
Turn the ball over because of poor decisions, which would leave his team in bad areas of play, in bad, give the opposite team great field position. And that's what will lose the game. And once you do that and the team sees that consistently, the team loses confidence. So now they're not playing at the highest level. Now they're playing scared, or they're just trying to figure out. Everybody's trying to make the big play, and that's when you lose, and that's when you miss, and that's when you come off your adjustment. So Dak Prescott is not an elite quarterback. He is an above average quarterback. I'm sorry, we're going in deep right now, but he's not an elite quarterback by any means.
I totally agree.
Save your evisceration for
I
later.
know. I just
Totally agree. And KD, that same list, I'm on board with that same list of quarterbacks. But I want to add what like Hef said. I was looking at like my upcoming quarterback this year, and I'm actually looking at two, and one is actually Justin Herbert. That's one, and the second one, and it's funny though how we were talking about Tua.
Yeah.
if Tua, seriously, I'm thinking about how in that division and what's going on there. I think if Tua can stay healthy, I think he could be a coming up quarterback, elite coming up for this season.
All right.
How about you, Sal?
I got Sam Howell. No, sorry. Now
Laugh it up now because next year you won't have this clip. Laugh it up now because next year, the year older Marcus is going to look back and hopefully I'll be skinny.
No, I think I got pretty much everybody else has Mahomes, Hurts, definitely. I think Josh Allen's in there, Burrow's in there.
No Herbert.
The only one I'd be curious to see if he does what he thinks he's going to do. Maybe as an honorable mention is Deshaun Watson. Nobody's mentioned him really yet, so maybe as an honorable mention him. And then I think obviously you got to put. I know Dre's going to shoot me for this, but our friend from Buffalo, man, you got to put him in there. The top, probably as 5, just barely getting in.
Who?
Allen.
I know. I'm just messing.
Yeah.
So A-Rod doesn't make your top 5.
So nah, no. I think he's seen better days. I've seen better days. Enough.
By the end of the season, I'd love to see what this list is in terms of what we consider a lead or not. Who's going to be on there?
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah, we were all pretty much on the same page.
I know where we are right now, but by the end of the season, I'll be curious to see if that list changed.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Look, this has been so much fun, man. Shout out to the ADU podcast, guys. It is such a pleasure having you on. And Katie, can you give me a little music before we go? You know. Can you pull it up? You know. And I know. Just give it a little flavor so tonight people know what's going on. You know what I mean? Give us a little.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna catch ADU on YouTube
there
tonight
it is.
at 9.
Here we go.
So check them out.
Yeah,
man.
Just have that, right? Just have that on cue.
There it is.
Yeah. And if anybody got questions and comments, please send it to enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Again, you can watch this past episode on YouTube and also all the major podcasts. So don't want to miss it.
Yeah, shout out again to you guys. Thank you so much. Tonight at 9 p.m. Check them out. ADU will be on there. We're doing a double shot today with these guys, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. You never know what's going to come out. You thought Fancy was interesting. Woo, you never know what's going to come on that show, baby. So, another dating coach, who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody, just make sure you hit that like on our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel. Get into the chat with us and get in the chat with ADU tonight on YouTube.
All right, guys. Everybody, peace. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Right. See you.